Howdy! Welcome to the Rhinestone Roper place. Today we're going to be talking about how to properly coil your rope. But first, go ahead and push that subscribe button and ring that bell, and we'll get started. We're talking about coiling your rope. We've got two basic kind of ropes. One is a poly rope that's a regular catch rope. You rope a calf with this or whatever, a stiff rope. And the other is our cotton spot cord ropes. Everything I'm going to say applies to both ropes. Now you need to know what your purpose is of coiling your rope. You know, if you're in the middle of a show and you get done with this rope, you just want to get it up and get it out of the way, then that's one thing. But if you want your coils to be perfect, and you want them to be perfect if you're getting it set for the next show, or you wanting it perfect so you can store it, then you need to be really particular about how you do it, and you probably don't want to let anyone else touch your rope to put it away, because both of these ropes, if they're coiled up improperly, they'll remember those odd twists. And when you get your rope out, you want your rope to be exactly the same every single time. You want it to be perfect. You don't want it remembering a bunch of kinks and twists that they were put away improperly with. Ideally, with both ropes, you coil it up, you want it totally stretched out on the ground. If it's laying on the ground with some kinks in it, then as you're getting the twists out, those twists won't roll out the end of the rope. If your rope is straight out there, the whole rope can twist, it'll roll right out the end, and the rope will be just like you want it. If you've done a bunch of tricks with your rope, you might have finished with a Texas skip or a wedding ring, and I just put like 15 or 20 kinks in my rope. And you can see those twists. There's one, all these waves. So what we'll do is either let it fall down or let those twists go in the rope and take the Honda and untwist it like that. This rope kind of wanted to untwist itself. But I'm going to flop it out there so there's no kinks in it. As I coil it, I'm going to take all those twists that I just put in there. And then with each coil, I'm going to put one twist back in. Now, which hand do you hold it with? If you got the loop end of your rope, you put that loop in your roping hand and you coil it towards that hand. I'm going to come back here, grab this with my thumb and forefinger, and I'm going to twist it that direction to put that coil in. Now I can see there might be an extra twist right there. Take that out a little bit, take it out, come back here, grab it with my thumb and forefinger, give it a half a twist. Now you can see this coil is not laying flat. That means there's a twist the wrong way, or there's too many twists in it the correct way. So I'm going to play with it till it lays flat. And that had too many twists in it from that last loop I spun. Now you can see it's laying flat. There's no waves in it. That's perfect. But you can see I'm building up more twists. I'm taking more twists out. There's one, there's one, there's one. There's a whole bunch. So I'm going to make sure this rope is free to twist. Give it a couple extra twists. Put one final twist in. That's not perfect, but it's close. Yes, this had a lot of twists in it. I can see them. I can still see them. I'm undoing the twist right now. One final twist. There we go. Now this rope is ready for the next show. I'll lay that down on the table with this pigtail sticking out underneath the coils. That will keep the coils in order. And I know what kind of rope I got. I know where the twists are. Now, are there no twists in it? That's not correct. There's a twist for every single coil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6 twists in it in a certain direction. So when I make my first loop, if I pull it like that, there's already 3 twists in that loop. And that's why with both of these ropes, when you see a cowboy get ready, he just doesn't pull his rope into his loop. He takes that, rests his thumb on that Honda, and he rolls it over. Then grabs the Honda and brings it up. I just took that twist out and I rolled over the back of my hand, holding it there. I'm going to shift over here and grab my Honda, slide it up the rope. Now there are no twists in that rope. I'm starting out with a neutral loop. I can spin it any way I want. It'll absorb some twists to start with till I get to changing tricks. Now, can you coil this rope up, go in the opposite direction, hold it in your left hand? Yeah, sure you can. But if you're holding it in your off hand, make sure you got the pigtail in that off hand. And instead of rolling it this way, I'm gonna roll it this way. Thumb and forefinger. I'm gonna roll it that direction. Put that coil in. Roll it that direction. Put that coil in. Before each show, you want to coil your own rope up, because someone who's not a trick roper will grab the loop in their left hand and coil it up. Boy, and they'll be proud. It looks good. You go to rope with it, your rope is a big tangle because this is on the wrong side. So if you're a trick roper, this rope is your piece of equipment. When you're preparing it for a show, unless you have someone you've trained yourself and you trust them, you coil your own ropes up. You prepare your own stuff. And that's what I do. Everything I've just said is true for this stiff rope. Now if you get your stiff rope, put a bunch of twists in that thing and throw it down. And these ropes don't absorb the twists, they just kink. So it's easier with this rope to see that you haven't got all the twists out. But sometimes they're harder to get the twists out. But I'll shake it out. Hopefully all those will go away. I don't know how many are left in the loop. Looks like I'm all right. I'm going to make my guesses of where these kinks are. There's a bunch of them. That looks good so far. I can tell I got a bunch of them left. Now you look at that coiled up rope and tell there's a problem. This much is okay, but there's 2 twists right here. You can see them. If you look close, you can see them right there that didn't get out. And it's obvious when you look at your coils that you haven't done it properly. And this rope too will remember improper twists. You want to get this perfect also. Get those kinks out. Put one going the right direction. That's it right there. In some of the comments to my other roping videos, I've heard the question that infers that we coil our rope with certain twists in it for different tricks. So we coil it different at times depending on what trick we're going to do. And I have to say if I said that, that's not what I meant to say. We coil it exactly the same way every time. And there's a couple reasons for that. One is the impression we want to give. We want to give the impression that no matter what our rope is made of, we're just like those cowboys on the range, the cowboys at the rodeo. We can grab that very same rope that they use and do all these tricks with it. And sometimes that's true. Some tricks we can do with either rope, and some people can grab any rope they want and do all the tricks with it. And it doesn't make any difference what rope. But we want to give the impression, whether it's true or not, that that's true. So when people see us come on stage with our rope, it's going to look like a coiled up lariat. There aren't any tricks to the coiling. You coil it properly, you coil it the same way every time. Now it just so happens that if you've coiled this the way I instructed, either into your right hand if you're a right hand roper, or putting the loop in your left hand if you're a left hand roper, and putting those appropriate twists in with each coil, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you got 6 twists in here. And if you spin a reverse loop, that loop is going in the opposite direction of those twists. So you got six spins of that rope for free. If you spin this whole loop out 6 times, then there'll be 0 twists in your rope. If you start out this rope with a forward spin, it's already got 6 forward spins in it. So you're not going to have as long to where you have to shift directions with your rope and uncoil those things. But if you're getting ready to build your wedding ring, all it's doing is taking the twists out. So when you get to the end of your rope here, you got no twist. And since I'm at the end of the rope, I can twist it with my fingers and keep the twist out. Anyway, that's how to coil up your rope, whether it's cotton or whether it's polycord. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and take a look at these other 2 videos. One of these videos is going to describe how to manage your twists and your kinks when you're in the middle of a roping routine. Press like, I'd appreciate it. Adios.